welcome to this week's video. I'm on a little work break and I wanted to talk to you today about one of my favorite things as a thriving creator, fear. Yes, fear. I know it's weird to say that fear is one of my favorite things and one of my favorite things to talk about, but let me tell you why. First of all, whether you're someone who loves fear, like you like to do the scary things, you like heights, you like fast cars, whatever it is, or you're someone who's like, no, I have a healthy sense of fear, I don't like scary things. The reason why fear is incredible is because it is the secret ingredient to our flow. And flow as a thriving creator is literally the main lifestyle hack that can help you to create what I call your thriving creator lifestyle. Sometimes I also call it your freedom lifestyle. It ultimately means the lifestyle that perfectly fits the way that you want to live your days in and out and the temperament that you have. So, first of all, let's talk about flow in true scientific terms. Sorry, there's lots of planes. It's going to be a little loud here. Flow is a universal phenomenon. It's a psychological phenomenon. Basically, your brain does a fireworks display of neurochemical explosion. And what it means is that all of the parts of your brain that are usually really hypercritical or just really nasty to yourself, the parts that kind of shut you down or that get self-conscious about what people are thinking, the part of you that's kind of obsessed with time, how much time am I taking, all of that relaxes, softens. And as it does, it allows you to be so connected to your own inner creative channel. And this manifests differently for all of us, but for a lot of us, we feel like we just know exactly what we want to say next or do next, and we don't have to think too much about it. And it's almost like our intuition and our intelligence, the things that we've learned before, all the different bits of knowledge and information that we've gathered, are perfectly merged together. We're not stuttering our words or our steps, and all of a sudden we look up and time has just flown by, and we have this incredible feeling of subtle euphoria that has been running the show. Sometimes that's when you're having really amazing conversations with friends. It might be when you get off stage or when you're done with a work session. If you ever have some sort of flow in your life, just draw upon that for a moment. And now we're going to talk about fear. So the reason why fear is so incredible is because, first of all, fear is usually blocking most of us from our flow. Second of all, fear can actually become the biggest trigger for us to get into flow. So let's talk about it for a second. You're going to see a chart that I'm putting up on the screen right now, and you're going to see in the left-hand column, just start with what you're seeing as core fears. So on the left-hand column, you're going to see this list of fears, and just pick out one for today. If you're not really feeling that afraid of anything in the moment, it's okay. Just pick the one that your eyes sort of go to and say, okay, if I had to be afraid of something today, it would be that thing. And then once you've chosen that fear, now move your eyes to the right. And in the column to the right, you're going to see a core need. And just look at that and just see if it resonates at all. Even if you don't fully understand what the word means, just take a look at it. And then now move your eyes to the right again, and you're going to see a column that tells you what the unconscious expression of that fear might be in your life. So you might see something that you've been doing lately, or a habit that you've had in the past, or some sort of like toxic trait that you notice kind of popping up. And now finally move your eyes to the right one more time, and you're going to see what the healthiest expression of that fear or that need really could be in your life. And again, just see if it resonates for you. See if that's something that you could say, oh, yeah, actually, that is something that I could use in this moment, or actually that is something that if I did it today, maybe it would just feel a little bit more possible to do whatever I have to do today. So now that you've seen that chart, I want to break down what that chart even is, why it exists, and why it matters to you as a thriving creator who is wanting to create your freedom lifestyle. So that chart was created using psychological research, EMDR, epigenetics, and all of these different incredible neuroscientific, neurophysiological ways of reading the human psyche. The thing that I love about this chart is you can start to use it as a cheat code in your day-to-day life. So if you've taken the quiz, you know I'm going to talk to you endlessly about the superpower quiz. If you've taken the creative superpower quiz, you already know that the basic main recipe for being a thriving creator is knowing what your superpower is, but also knowing what your shadow is. So if you know your shadow, then you know it's going to pop up. It's going to sabotage you. It's going to tell you nasty things about yourself every time that you try to flex that superpower and step into something that you want to create, or a new launch, or a new type of career path, or whatever it is. So now you have this little cheat code here with your fear chart. Anytime you notice yourself procrastinating or kind of getting off track, or telling yourself, you know, maybe I'll just do that next year, or I don't really think that investment is going to be worth it, just take a glance at the fear chart. Then take a look at the need that fear is pointing to. Take a look at how that might be showing up in your life right now, and then take a look at the advice for how it could express in its healthiest way. Now, right after you do this, I recommend that you go into a flow cycle. And a flow cycle can easily be started by just setting 30 minutes on a timer. Turn off all your notifications, turn off your email notifications, your phone notifications. Notice that as soon as you sit down, you're going to be like, oh, I have to send that message, or, oh, did I turn the stove off? I should check the mail. Like, everything in the world will come up for you. Don't do it. There is a threshold that your brain is basically just like waving through. It's like, whoom, whoom, whoom. And if you get through those initial waves, you're going to drop into a state of flow. The coolest part about starting this flow cycle, no matter what you do, whether you're like, okay, I'm going to work on my finances or my admin, or I'm going to paint, I'm going to do something creative, I'm going to write for 30 minutes every day. When you look at the fear chart first, instead of spending all of that time being distracted and letting your shadow eat up your flow cycle, you know exactly what you're actually a little bit afraid of. And you're going to bring all of that energy with you into the work that you do. So now, why does this matter to you as a thriving creator who's trying to build your freedom lifestyle? Because the number one thing that usually blocks our freedom and our flow in this life is our fear. And like I said, but fear is not what we think it is. Fear is the language of the body, and the body is the subconscious mind. So if you're familiar with the subconscious mind, it's literally everything that is below the conscious mind. So it's all of, again, those shadowy bits, the parts of yourself that you're not aware of, but that pop out and act crazy sometimes. So when you're feeling any kind of fear, if you can decode that fear, then it means you're actually translating that fear through your body, through your subconscious mind, and then you're putting it into your flow cycle. This is amazing for two reasons. Number one, you actually do the thing you said you were going to do instead of diluting your attention, getting distracted, procrastinating, and not doing it. But number two, when you create with your fears in front of you, and you allow your shadow to be part of your superpower, you have higher limbic resonance for people. Limbic resonance is a phenomenon that basically describes what it's like when you see someone really doing something truly authentically connected for you, and you feel lit up inside. You literally feel like when people say it struck a chord, or it just pinged me, or it just hit me. That's limbic resonance. We're literally resonating in our limbic brain with another person's limbic brain expression, and we're connected to them in a way that's like a magnet. So when you create from the truth of your fear, you create that limbic resonance. So the thing that you did, the thing that you wrote, the thing that you sang, the thing that you constructed creatively in that flow cycle is also going to be so much more magnetic just in 30 minutes than if you would have slaved away for hours not doing it in a flow cycle and not being aware of your fear. I hope that this helps you. This is just one of my favorite little life hacks as a creator, as a thriving creator. I know it seems like a simple little thing, but ultimately it holds the keys for exactly the kind of lifestyle that is going to be the most prosperous and fulfilling for you. So again, if you haven't taken the quiz, take the Creative Superpower quiz, because it's going to help you literally look at all of the creative callings and roles and different types of careers that you could have or that you could create in this world that really truly fit not only your superpower, but also your shadow, and not only your favorite types of flow, but also the ones that honor the fear that you live with on a day-to-day basis. And instead of that fear being a bad thing, it starts to become another one of your magical superpowers. I hope you enjoyed this today. There's more next week, and next week we're actually going to be talking way more bare bones, blueprint level about how to create your most integrated life as a thriving creator. and also how that extends into finding your most magnetic community, audience, collaborators, clients as a thriving creator. See you next week.